Hello, this is Jones10395 with another airsoft video. This will be how to paint your gun. You could do this for any gun, a real gun or not. It'll come out the same, but you may have to use a different type of spray paint to get the right bond. But I just used Rust-Oleum camouflage paint. Works very, very nice. It has a rough finish, and it won't reflect any of the sunlight, so they won't give away your position. And if you're not going to use Rust-Oleum camouflage paint, then make sure you have a satin finish on your gun. Don't get a glossy finish, because it'll reflect the sunlight. So you could do this on any type of gun. But before I show you actually how to spray paint the gun, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to spray paint a gun. I'm going to spray paint a piece of cardboard, but it's going to be the same principle. It's just I'm going to use the same style of everything that I did. So now I'll take you outside and show you how to spray paint it. Okay, here we are outside. I'm going to be painting on plywood. I changed my mind, but this is the generic outline of, I guess, a sniper rifle. Really, just a generic outline of a gun. So when I'm done painting, I'll take this tape off, and then you'll see what it would look like on your gun. Of course, around the top and the curves, it'd be a little different. It won't be as sharp of a paint line, I guess, but it'll still look like it's nature. And the good thing about trying to impersonate nature is that nature isn't perfect, so your paint job doesn't have to be. So you don't have to make every single thing the same on both sides. It can be different. It really should be, because like I said, nature isn't perfect. You're never going to find a perfect looking bush or nothing like that. So now what I'll be doing as a base coat is this tan. It doesn't say it's tan, but it is, because you can tell by the cap. So I'm running low on a lot of this stuff, so if I run low in the middle of the paint job, then I'll just stop painting the rest of the gun, and I'll just paint that little area that I got. You're probably going to need to do multiple coats. I'm just going to do one because, like I said, I'm almost out. And when you spray paint, you want to hold your spray paint can about a foot away from your from the area that you want to spray paint, which I wasn't doing because, like I said, I'm almost out, and I want to get at least one good coat down. Because if you hold it closer than 1 foot, then you'll get blotches in your paint, and it will not look like a good finish. So now, done with the base coat. You would let this dry for probably, I'd say at least let it set for 15 minutes or so. That's what I did when I was painting my gun. It came out fine. And once again, do this outside in a well-ventilated area. I'm doing it at the door of my garage because the fumes are bad for you, and they're flammable, so you don't want to do it in your basement, like by your water heater. Like if that thing takes off, then so will your paint fumes, and you'll have no more basement. So now here is, now I'm just gonna do stripes, and then I'll get to doing the actual cool looking part of the paint job. Just a piece of shrub. So you could do it in like any direction you want, just as long as it's kind of consistent. This is exactly how I did my paint job on my gun that you saw in the introduction. So it'll come out looking pretty nice. Now we got the OD green, and don't be afraid to overlap your strokes. It'll probably actually be better if you overlap. It'll make it look a little bit more cool. But I'm not going to do that right now because we're not done. We're probably only 3/4 of the way through the paint job. Alright, so that's that. Whoops, hit the tripod. Okay, now we got that done. Now to get a good contrast and a sharp, decent line, I guess, with this, what you want to do, hit the tripod again, is, alright, now we're on the tan right now. The main part I want to paint is on the tan. So what I'm going to do to make it have a nice contrast and stick out, wow, why do I keep doing that? Is I'm going to hit it with a dark paint. This is my brown, so I'll hit it with a brown. You don't need to make it hit perfectly, just enough. Now you can see how that outline is like pretty good. And now I'm going to go onto the brown and onto the tan. Let's try this again. And now I'm going to use, since I'm more into the darker stuff, I'm going to use the tan spray paint. So you can see it barely right there. So that's just a little bits and pieces. So now you get the idea. I'm going to try to finish the rest off here for you. And don't be afraid if you got too much light in one area or too much dark, because like I said, nature is not perfect. So your paint job won't have to be. And another tip for you is I'd recommend using more than one piece of shrub, because it's kind of going to look the same throughout the whole thing if you use the same piece. So you want to make it kind of random. Let's go over there. Where's my tan? Alright, let's go in here. Kind of want to stagger it, make it, like I said, make it look random. So let's go some OD green over here. Alright, now I will show you what the paint job looks up close. Okay, I've taken the tape off. It still isn't dry yet, but I'll give you a little brief look at it. You can see some of the plants there and the shrub. Right there is a little bit. And this is obviously not a real gun. This is the generic outline of a gun. So hopefully you can see some of that. But there's pieces of shrubs and all that in there. But that's the exact same style of painting. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? That's the exact same paint job I did to make my gun look like this. It's the exact same thing. And this is plastic and metal, so the lines of the plants come out a little bit more sharp than they would on wood, because wood's not smooth. So now remember how this side looks. Sorry about that sun glare. And then how this side looks. They don't look the same. Like I said probably 3 or 4 times on the video, nature isn't perfect, so your paint job doesn't have to be either. So this is exactly how your gun will look when you are done. And then, to be legal, the orange cap there. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.